Hello, everyone. Lucy May here. I hope you are having a fabulous week, and I hope everything is going accordingly to plan. And I hope that you are getting a lot accomplished and yet taking some time out for yourself. And that's what I have been trying to do every day, take some time for me. And I have been. Um, I I know that a lot of women out there have kids, and so it's so difficult to have any time for yourself. Or even if you don't have kids and you're busy working hard or you've got just a lot on your plate. I mean, it doesn't, it still makes a long day. So, trust me, everybody can be impacted by being busy and being tired from all of it. But I wanted to kind of come to you today to talk about another discussion we had towards the beginning of when I started these episodes. And I wanted to talk about depression. Um, it just felt like there was a need to discuss it again, and maybe from a different look, I guess, if that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it is. I just different perspective. That's what I was trying to say. Um, Maybe it'll be a little bit different than when I filmed it before. But you know, there are always so many symptoms that somebody has when they're in depression. I think I experienced every one of them at some level or degree. And when things started getting really tough for me and I was took a downward slope, I mean, they were magnified and I didn't completely understand it. Um, I knew like I just wanted to be alone. I didn't want people, didn't want to talk to anybody. Um, I was tired, way tired all the time. And I just wanted, and I was isolating and I didn't realize it because I didn't want to talk to family. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just wanted to be in my bed and just lay there. Maybe eat some food, eat dinner, but I just didn't want to talk to anybody. And I was cranky at times and irritable, and it was just progressively getting worse. Um, and the other symptom that I'm going to discuss tonight is about getting ready, getting taking care of yourself. I let that go when I started getting into severe depression. I let that go. I wouldn't wear makeup. I was barely taking care of myself. Like I remember doing my hair, trying to get my hair done when I could. I did do that, but I wasn't concerned with my appearance. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you are confident in yourself and you really don't care what people think about your appearance and you're beautiful inside and out either way, that's there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm talking about if you're feeling down and you're not happy with yourself, your self-esteem is low, and you're just feeling just depressed. You're feeling sad or feeling this heaviness about you that you just don't take care of yourself. And I was going through that, and which is not like me because I used to always wear makeup. As boring as I was wearing makeup, I used to wear the same makeup like all the time, and it used to just, I don't know. I didn't really bother me so much, but nowadays I'm like, to me it was boring because I wasn't like using different colors or anything. But either way, I was wearing makeup and then I just kind of quit. And so for a long time, I wasn't wearing any makeup and I wasn't taking care of myself. I was gaining weight. I was barely getting, myself to work and doing that. And, I was having a lot of issues with chronic pain too. So it was difficult. I was having a very difficult time, and that made me even more depressed. Now, I'm not trying to depress you by me telling you this. I'm just telling you what was going on. And I don't know if you're going through the same thing or you know somebody that's having the same problem. Confront them, talk with them, you know, um, ask them what's going on. Take the time to ask them what's going on. Um, Unfortunately, my situation, you know, people didn't realize what was happening because they were busy. So it wasn't that, I'm not mad at people for not noticing what I was going through, because I'm a kind of a private person when it comes to myself. So I have a way of hiding things, but after the fact, I don't think I was hiding myself very well, but people didn't put two and two together that something was really wrong. And so I don't blame anybody for that. I take full responsibility for how I was behaving. But it is a serious symptom. And the thing with depression is, oh, that person's just dealing with, they're depressed because of this, that something happened. But I'm not talking about short-ended depression where, you, I don't know, what's a good example? Um, like you failed a grade, or you did something poorly and you didn't know you did it, and then you feel bad about it only for a few days and then you're fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about long-term depression, because people with depression, it's ongoing at some level or another. There's high functional depression, which means that you can still work and you can be multitasking and you can do all those things and get things done. And and it's almost a little bit on the side of maybe a little bit of OCD, in that you do a lot extra stuff and you're just really about working. You can have high functional depression, but eventually it catches up with you at some point, and you just go on. But at some level, you have to address it, because it will turn into a really bad situation. And it's like you could be going like this, and all of a sudden, boom. And then that's what happened with me. I didn't realize how bad things were getting, and I took a nosedive. My depression took a nosedive. And granted, um, you know, besides emotionally, I did have some chemically physical things going on. I had thyroid issues that I wasn't realized was happening, and that can cause depression chemically, and it cause you to make you feel depressed. So I had some things that were actually, that were not helping me. In other words, I had things that were going on that was besides the emotional side effect of it. Um, so I just quit taking care of myself. So when probably after my attempt, and I was in the hospital and went home, and it was probably a good, well, maybe 3 weeks. I started wanting to try to maybe wear makeup every now and then. Um, it wasn't very often. I just thought, well, I started trying to take care of myself as far as my appearance went, and um, got my hair done. I did things to try to, I started to care about myself. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But it was only because I had gotten on a certain medication and my mood changed, and I was no longer this. I was up, I was going up, and so I was starting to feel more better. And but one of the symptoms was I was not taking care of myself. And I know I talk about makeup, that not everybody likes doing makeup. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people don't think it's necessary, and that's great. But if it's something that you really enjoy doing, or you like to do, and you're going through a lot of junk right now, emotionally, physically, and you just notice that you're just like, you don't care about putting makeup on, or and it's continuing, you need to be have your depression be in check to see what's going on, if you're going through depression. And that's just one of the symptoms. um, do I still have issues with it? I do at times. I mean, I think I probably deal with it on a day-to-day basis, to be quite honest, because it's one day at a time, right? We have to take one day at a time. Some days I'm doing great, and then some days I'm not doing great. I'm either like really tired, or I don't want to get out of bed, or um, you know, I just just don't want to talk to anybody. I've had days like that, but then I eventually have to force myself to get going, force myself to get out of my room, get moving. So it's changed me. My suicide attempt changed me. It changed my personality, I think, a little bit. Um, definitely have different, I'm definitely different in some areas than I was before it. So I think my brain got rewired or something, is what I really think happened. Um, but I do, and then too, and the other thing is I'm more aware of my depression than I was before my attempts. So I'm very much keen about things, and I've had to, on occasion, tell people, look, I'm not doing well right now. I'm just telling you. I know that I can call this person, I can call that person, but I'm just letting you know I'm not doing well right now, and um, you know, uh, if I call for help, there's a reason I'm calling for help, or, you know, and I said I would. I made the promise, that I would always say that if I was doing bad, I would tell somebody. I will never get to that point that I was at before. I will never go down that road again. It's awful. It's dark. It's painful. It was just a bad place. I was in a bad spot. I will never go down to that place again. It was horrible. I hit rock bottom pretty much, and the only way to get out of it was to go up, right? You either go up or you go out, and yes, I tried to go out, and it wasn't my time to go out, you know, so I went up. After what I did and recovered, then I had to climb back up. So just be aware of the people around you, you know, be observant if they're loved ones that are struggling or that have a history of depression. Be more aware of your friends, even people maybe you don't know particularly. If you see somebody isn't smiling, smile at them, or smile at just a smile can cheer up somebody's day. You would not believe. It may not cure their depression, but it would lighten the mood a little bit. And if somebody is in a bad place with depression, encourage them to get in to get help if they're not already. And if they're already in counseling and they're really doing rough, then you need to encourage them to tell their counselor how bad they're doing, because there are people that will not tell their counselors that. They just sit there and you know they won't say everything, even though if the counselor's a good counselor, they will know that you're going through something, because they can pick up. They know the cues, and they know by just looking at you if you're doing good or you're not doing good. So there's no point in hiding it. Just get in and tell your counselor how you're doing. And then the other thing is spend time just listening to the person. Sometimes they just need to talk and not interrupt them and give them advice, not interrupting them and tell them, well, you know, I've been in a worse situation than you've been. Do not ever do that. Do not ever do that. That will not help anything, because everybody's situation is different. We all walk in different shoes, right? Each of our paths are completely different. So that's like the one thing you don't want to say. You don't want to interrupt them and say, well, I know, I used to be, and go off on a tangent, and then turn the conversation on to yourself. You just want to listen to them, and when they get done talking, I mean, if they're open to listening to you, not necessarily give advice, but just encouraging them. And tell them that you have faith in them, that you're gonna help them get through this, and this is just a hiccup in the road. We'll get you through this, and just encouraging them. Tell them that you love them and that you appreciate them. Just hearing that can just really. I mean, if somebody had said that to me in this place where I was at, emotionally, somebody came up to me and said that to me, I probably would have burst into tears. To be quite honest, I think I would have cried. Because of how bad I felt. So that's why I say, just take time with that person. And I don't know how you feel about this, but personally, you know, um, it would have been nice if I had one of my friends or somebody not one of my friends. I'm not putting this off on my friends, but it would have been nice if I had somebody come to me and offer to pray for me, or pray with me, about it, to encourage me, to lift my spirit, because we are spiritual beings, and I needed that prayer. I needed that because I don't honestly, and where I was at within my faith and belief, I was at a low point too. I really was. I just couldn't even pray myself out of the situation, meaning I couldn't lift myself out of it. I needed somebody to come in and just lift me out of it, help me pray to get through the situation, you know, and give it to the Lord. That's what I needed. I needed that to happen, and it didn't happen. And you know what? That's okay. I'm not putting that on anybody. Things happened the way they happened, and unfortunately, I have to learn from that experience. But I've learned a lot from that experience that I probably would not have learned if it had not happened. You know, so the Lord was with me through it all. Because if He wasn't, I would have died, for one thing. And He lifted me up. He prevented me from dying. He kept me hanging on until the right person came along to pretty much save my life. And then that's what happened, right? So, I just encourage you again to be aware of your surroundings, aware of people around you. Observe what's going on with them, especially if you notice any of your friends are exhibiting signs and symptoms of depression. I'm not going into all the symptoms. You can Google that. Anybody can Google, the symptoms of depression. I just wanted to talk to you about a few of the symptoms. But if you notice that they're exhibiting any symptoms of depression, ask how they're doing. Ask what's going on. Is there anything you can do to help them? I mean, that's all. It just takes one question, to find out. So I encourage you to do that today. And that's really what I wanted to talk about, is that issue. And I know I'll probably come back to this issue another time as well, just because it's such a big issue in my life. And I know others have gone through it or are going through it, and they just need encouragement. You will get through this, and you will get through it, and you'll keep going, because after going through what you've gone through in depression, you become more aware of things about yourself. And I really truly believe that you will get through it, and that you've learned, hopefully, from other people that have had similar issues, So I just wanted to encourage everybody and to lift you all up, and I'm praying for you, and I love all of you. And if you ever need prayer, or you want to just make a comment about the subject, feel free to make comments. Also, if you have any concerns, or if you want to, suggest a topic, like I said, I'm open to talking about any topic, but I just want you to know that I love you all, and I appreciate each and every one of you that are able to watch this video. I think that's all I wanted to tell you. I thought there was one more thing I was going to say, but it didn't turn out that way. I think it went in and out, so I guess I wasn't supposed to say it. But I appreciate you, and I hope you have a blessed rest of the day, and I will see you guys back on Monday. And treat yourself this weekend. Do something fun. Do something that's self-care that you enjoy. And get out of your house. Get out of your room. Get into the sunshine. Feel the warmth of the sun. You'll be amazed how much that can change things. So, anyways, I will see you guys on Monday.